Hi, and welcome back to another podcast. So, this is the podcast today where we do fun stuff. So we're going to have a little chat about what we're doing today. So, we're going to start off with fantasy football names.
But we're going to be doing fantasy football names differently today. We're going to be picking one team and then our favourite 5 fantasy football names. So, that's how it's going to work today.
So now we've got that out of the way, we will also be updating our power rankings. Like we did last week, we are going to give out the game ball. We're also going to be doing a Week 12 preview and picking every team we read out. Basically, we're going to be picking the team that we think will win. As you know, last podcast we did our picks, so we'll be estimating the scores we think they are going to win or lose. So
first we're going to be doing the fantasy football names. So we've got all the teams in a hat, and I'm going to pick out one team, and that is the team that we're going to be doing the names on.
I have the teams in a hat now, so it's time for you to pick. There you go.
Okay, so I'm going to pick, and the pick for today is...
Drum roll.
It's the New Orleans Saints.
So, our top 5 names are, in number 5 is... What would Breezes do?
I'm not sure about that one. That's terrible. Yeah. Anyway, number 4... Saints and Sinners.
In placing number 3 is... They call me the Breeze.
Are we going to have any good ones today?
Maybe not, maybe.
Maybe not. What are we on? Number 2?
Yeah.
Number 2, this is a good one. I can feel it. Peyton's Place.
I think number 1 is the best one.
Oh, hilarious. Number 1, go for it, Emily.
So number 1 is... Light, camera, action!
Light, camera, action. Fantastic. Yeah.
Now we're going to be doing our power rankings. So, placing number 5 is... These are all the Chiefs teams, by the way. Dan Sorensen, would you like to tell us why he had a good game?
Because he had an interception in the end zone which ended the game, which Chiefs meant they got the win. That is why he is at number 5.
Okay.
What's number 4, Emily?
Number 4 is... Rashad Fenton.
Rashad Fenton at number 4. Another player that got an interception. I think that's why he's in the power rankings.
Yeah. So number 3 is quite a surprising one.
It was very surprising to me.
Yeah, I was shocked by us making this decision.
Yeah, it wasn't me who made the decision, it was you.
Oh, well.
They're your rankings.
Okay. So, in number 3 is... Patrick Mahomes?
Shock. Horror.
So, I just thought that some people may have played a bit better than Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, fair enough. They're your rankings. You can have whoever you want.
Okay,
Moving on.
But you can't really blame him because obviously
No, it can't be fantastic all the time.
No, yeah.
Moving on. Number 2.
In number 2 is... Tyrann Mathieu.
The Honey Badger at number 2.
Honey Badger himself.
He got an interception which was more or less as good as a touchdown because it set him up for a first and goal for the touchdown. So that's why he's at number 2.
The Honey Badger himself.
Number 1.
Number 1 is... This is going to surprise you all.
There always seems to be a thunderstorm around when there's number 1.
Yeah.
Strange.
Probably because he was thunderstorming them interceptions. Okay. is Frank Clark.
Frank Clark, fantastic number one. Frank Clark drops in at number one. Fantastic game from Frank Clark, what we've been waiting for. Rushed the passer all day long. Philip Rivers could not do anything other than throw interceptions. Fantastic game by Frank Clark. Alright, after we've done with them power rankings, it is time to give the game ball. So, who is today's game ball going to?
And the game ball goes to... Tension. That's who it goes.
more tension. The game ball goes to Frank Clark.
Woo!
Well done, Frank Clark. Not only is he number one on Emily's power rankings, he has won the game ball. Well done, Frank Clark. Congratulations.
Now we are on with the Week 12 preview. So the first game we've got up is...
The first game is the Giants and the Bears.
And we think the Bears are going to win.
We do think the Bears are going to win. It's a game against two losing teams, but I think the Bears are going to pull this one out of the hat and they are going to go on to win that game. The next game is...
The Dolphins and the Browns. Obviously my pick with the Browns, and I think the Browns are going to win.
Yes, again, another game with two losing teams, but I am with Emily on this one. Even though the Browns are a pick, I do think the Browns are going to win this game. I think they're going to be too much for the Dolphins, and they are going to go on to beat the Dolphins. So the next game is the Steelers and Bengals.
And we think the Steelers are going to win.
Yes, we think the Steelers are going to win. The Bengals are obviously winless so far this season. The Steelers 5-5. I think the Steelers are going to be too much for the Bengals. They're going to go on to win. And the next game is...
The Broncos and Bills.
Yeah, the Broncos and Bills. We are thinking that the Bills are going to go on to win this game, aren't we, Emily?
Yeah.
Yeah, we think the Bills are just going to be too much for the Broncos. Moving on to the next game, we have the Panthers and the Saints.
And we think the New Orleans Saints are going to win.
Yes, the New Orleans Saints are going to beat the Panthers. The Panthers are 5-5. The Saints are 8-2. I think the Saints are going to be too much for the Panthers in this game, and the Drew Brees and the Saints are going to go on to win that. The next game is the Buccaneers and Falcons. Both teams are at 3-7.
We still think the Falcons are going to win.
Yes, I think the Falcons are going to win because even though both teams are 3-7, the Falcons have won 2 games in a row. The Falcons have also won 5 consecutive games against the Bucs, and the Bucs quarterback, I can't remember his name, can't stop throwing interceptions. So that's why the Falcons are going to win. The next game is the Raiders and the Jets.
As much as it pains us to say this,
don't say it, Emily. Don't say it.
We think the Scumbags might win.
Yeah, unfortunately, as much as it does pain us to say so, we think the are going to be too much for the Jets, and they are going to go on to win. The next game up is the Seahawks and the Eagles.
This one's an easy one, the Seahawks.
Yes, the Seahawks are going to go on to win that one. Russell Wilson is going to take apart the Eagles' defence, and the Seahawks are going to go on to win that game. The next game up is the Lions and the Redskins.
The Lions, I think they're going to pull through with a win.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to go through. I actually think this game is going to be absolutely dreadful. I think it is going to be a poor game. It's against 2 poor teams, but I think the Lions are going to get the win in that game. The game after that is the Jaguars and the Titans. My team, the Titans, I'm hoping they are going to win. That's my pick. But I don't know.
Not only because they're Daddy's pick, I think they might pull through with a win for this one.
Yeah, we're going to go with the Titans for that one. Not just because they're my pick. I think the Titans are gonna just squeak it past the Jaguars. The next game, the Cowboys and the Patriots.
The Patriots.
Yes, Emily thinks the Patriots are going to win. However, I'm going to say the Cowboys. I'm going to disagree with Emily on this one. I think the Cowboys are going to beat the Patriots.
We can disagree to disagree.
Yes, we will agree to disagree on that one. And next up is the Packers and the 49ers. What a game this should be.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a good game, but I think the 49ers will pull through with the win. If not the 49ers, then maybe a draw.
Yes, well, I think the Packers are going to win this game because Aaron Rodgers is 9-1 or better when facing a team. Aaron Rodgers facing a team 9-1 or better for the first time in his career. I don't know what the hell I was talking about then. I do apologise. But I think the Packers are going to win this game. Okay. So moving on to the final game, which is the Monday night game. It is the Ravens and the Rams.
I think the Ravens.
Yes, I think the Ravens are going to be too much for the Rams. I think Lamar Jackson is going to run all over the Rams and they're just going to be too much for them. And it's going to be a Ravens win. So that concludes our picks for Week 12.
Okay, so now we are estimating the scores of our picks. This is going to be a quite hard one. So for this, if we estimate it in with 5, if we get it in the range of 5, so if I estimated it, it'd be 17 something. If it was 20, if they had won 20 something, I would still get the point. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, we've got you.
Okay.
We understand.
So I think my picks Browns will win 25-7.
25-7, a big win for the Browns there that Emily is predicting. Looks like good. And I am predicting that the Titans will win. It's going to be a close one, but the Titans are going to win 17-10.
Not as big as a win as mine, but it's still a win.
Can I also take this time to make a quick disclaimer that any of our picks today, points-wise or other, are in no way suggested that these picks should be used for gambling. These are purely for fun and amusement, entertainment purposes. Thank you.
Because we have not just magically mixed up a future post and got out the scores. Yep. So yeah, that's a quick disclaimer. So please don't do that, please.
Okay, well, that is it for today's podcast. It is the end of today's podcast. The Chiefs are not playing this weekend, so at least we don't have to have a heart attack. They are playing next Sunday, I believe. And
Patrick Mahomes gets a little rest.
Yes, Patrick Mahomes gets a little rest. He's resting here, right by the side. Yes, he looks like he's nice and rested, and he's going to come out firing. Right, okay. Thank you for listening to today's episode, Emily.
Thank you. 1, 2, 3,
Chiefs!
Thanks for the round of applause, and bye.